G'day everyone, and welcome back to Apaya Puzzles and what looks like it might be a very difficult cryptic crossword today from the devil himself, David Astle, from the Good Friday edition of The Age yesterday. David took to Twitter to remind us all that it would not be a Good Friday if we were to attempt his puzzle, which I took as a dare. A number of people commented to the effect that they found it very difficult as well, so we may be in for a brutal exercise. I actually set this up last night to record, and just before recording I read the preamble and thought this is not one for 8 o'clock on a Friday night. I was not in the right headspace to try to even process the the preamble, so hopefully today I am, but who knows. I'm not highly optimistic about this video going out, but we shall see. So the screen is a little bit overflowing with information today, but let me explain the intro. There will be a link in the description if you want to give this puzzle a try yourself and play along. Meantime, let me stop waffling and start waffling in the correct form of the verb, which is to solve clues. So celebrating 7 down, use 5 down to transfer the answer of 13 marked clues, most seeming to own inapt numbering, from 13 across into the grid. So what on earth is going on? I have no idea. I don't think it's even worth trying to understand that at this point. I think we're probably going to be best to crack on in. Usefully, given how weird that theme sounds, we are at least given indicators as to which clues are affected by this theme, which is going to help. We can start by approaching some of the others. I mean, there's 2 ways of going about it. You can do that, or you could just tackle the stars head on. What I might do is actually look at 7, 5 and 13 just to see what they are, to see if they give any sense of what's going on. So let us go to 7 down first of all. So today's foreign name at center of problem, 5-4. So yeah, okay, not sure what that means or how to process it. 5 down is devised strange logo. Well, that looks like an anagram actually, behind popular decoder. So strange logo could be an anagram of the logo. Popular decoder could be in, or it could be a synonym. Device itself could be an anagram indicator on strange logo. That's what my first thought was. That's 11 letters. We need another 4 behind popular decoder. So yeah, not going to worry too much about that. 13 across. Back on island, maybe the D. Exile, skipped entree, pastry. Yes, actually I can solve this. Oh, this is very useful. 13 across is our first answer, and handily it's one that is useful for the theme. So hello again, everyone. Now, I just had something of a disaster. I went on for some minutes here and made a few very interesting discoveries about the puzzle, and I had reason to pause the video, which will become apparent why that was. And when I did so, I discovered that the entire time my software had been recording the grid on screen, but not anything that I was doing in it. So when I started entering my answers, you guys weren't seeing them. So it was just a frozen element for some reason. So I've reset that, and I'll have to go through and now solve the 4 clues that I solved before realizing this. It's a bit of a shame because you'll miss a considerable aha moment in all of its impact, but not to worry. So the point where I'm cutting into this again, I think, is where I've just solved 13 across. Now you can see that, so that's good. Let me get everything in place. So I was about to explain, we've got back on island for D, and then exile is banish, but it's skipping its first letter, so that gives us anish, and that gives us Danish, which is a pastry. And now I'm also just remembering I should just double check that my settings are correct. Okay. All right, total professional. Now, so I think at this point I wondered to myself whether we might have some sort of pastry theme going on, being Easter and hot cross buns. And I scoped around, and I think I came to 28 across because it was not a themed answer. Where is 28 across? At the top. So, historically you will bellow, and I solved this one pretty quickly with the historical word for you being ye, and will being double L, and to bellow is to yell. I had a look at 23 down, which was a themed answer, couldn't get anywhere, and then 19 down, which is unthemed, and this one came through pretty handily as well. Tradies vehicle, only contents include silicon tool, and I thought a tradies vehicle is a ute, and then there's an obvious word that comes through in utensil. So we have the ute plus the contents of only, which is N and L, which themselves are including S and I, which are the chemical abbreviation for silicon. Now, this took me to 18 across with the U in place, and I realized 18 is a themed answer, but I thought I'd have a crack anyway. Now I'm just super paranoid, so I'm just making sure everything can be seen. I think so. Okay. So, insider trading racket, and I realized that we've got this 3 letters apparently, but the final answer is 4 letters. So obviously the theme points to something to that effect. And I noticed that an inside term within trading is the word din, which does indeed mean racket. So I thought, okay, so we've got din, and we're gonna somehow have to translate this by way of the weird theme and something to do with Danish to get the final answer, which I don't know whether that will have anything to do with this. I think this is just a standalone clue giving you din, and then we'll get some final answer which might be themed in some way. And I think at that point, I thought, let me look at the theme again, and realize that we had this 5 down, which was devise strange logo behind popular decoder. And I thought, okay, what about popular decoder being the definition? Because apparently we're supposed to use this 5 down, potentially this popular decoder, to get our answers, or to translate our answers. And then I thought, what is 5 down? And I came across, and I'm not sure, I would have looked at this in my intro before the cut and not been able to get anywhere. But now that I thought popular decoder was probably the definition, I wondered what's a popular decoder, and what came to mind was Google Translate. And it seemed almost certainly correct because we've got this Google at the start, which has these letters of logo, and realized that strange logo is an anagram of Google Trans, and then behind is late, and that is all devised, or this first section is devised, that's the indicator for the anagram, and our popular decoder is Google Translate. And it's at this point that I discovered I was going to need to pause the video, because I realized what's happening here is that I'm going to have to put stuff into Google Translate in order to get my final answer. So for example, with 18 across, where I got the word din, I'm guessing I'm going to put that into Google Translate in Danish, I think, and translate it to an English word, because we're translating from Danish into the grid. And as I say that, I've realized something. So let me turn on this is why I paused, so I could set up these guys. And I've just realized that I need to set the languages appropriately. So from Danish to English. So let's have a look. If we put in, let me just make sure we're all looking at the same thing here. Is it 18 across? So if we put in din in Danish, this is interesting, because this might spell out some sort of expression. Okay, so now let me go back to go back here and put in your. This is great. What a brilliant idea for. It's so much more interactive than your typical crossword. Now then, and this is good because now I know that the starred clues just need to be solved like regular clues, but then put through Google Translate. So maybe I'll just start back with one across and see how I go. So harness racer, skipped first heel. So that's going to give us a 6-letter answer. Racer, skip. I think it's maybe a racer. A word for racer without the first letter H. What would be a racer? Sprinter, a chariot. Harness. And if the final answer is a harness, or two harness, can't think of anything. Let's go with some letters that I've got. That's the typical strat. Team lamented recording. This is 4 letters in both the final and the interim answer. It's got a G in there, so log. Hang on, let me think. No, the G in there doesn't matter. This is going to make it much harder because the G is part of the final answer. It's not necessarily, and almost certainly not part of the interim answer. Right. Okay. So recording is probably a homophone indicator for lamented. If you lament something, you rue it. So rude, but does that mean team? Side. So team means is side, like a football side, and to sigh, to lament. So we're going to spell that differently. So that gives us the final answer here of side, which we can put into here. Which, make sure you can still see that. Yeah, all's good. And we get page. Okay, and that fits with our G. Hello. This is cool. 4 down. Non-themed, mind you. Test for blonde tips. Test for. So this is probe. To be for something is to be pro it, and the tips of blonde are B and E, and to probe is to test. Happy days. Let's try 12 across. Is this themed? No, it's not. That's good. Check small room as focus of bio research. Something cell. Yeah. Well, I guess test cell. To check is to test. A small room is a cell, and the focus of bio research is a test cell. I don't know the expression, but I guess that may not be test, mightn't it? To check. Stem cell. So to check something's progress is to stem it, and that is obviously more appropriate to the final definition. So happy days. 3 down. This would have been a good Friday, David. I'm enjoying this. It's amazing. Somewhat wet composer on grand piano. Now this is, the M is irrelevant to us. So somewhat wet composer on grand piano. Damp. I think it might be damp. So somewhat wet is damp. I think there might be a composer. The composer is David, D-A. And then grand is M, I think, for 1000. And piano is P, which is an abbreviation that is used. So if we put in damp, we get steam. Now, what's tricky about this is I don't have a way of colouring the grid. It would be useful to be able to highlight the themed clues so I can more readily see. Is there a way I can do that? I don't think so. That's annoying. Because it'd be nice to be able to build up. I might need to pause again and get a little notepad window. This is going to be the most overfilled screen we've ever had. Yeah, I'm going to pause one sec. Alright, here we go. Welcome to the new world, everybody. We have quite the setup here, and I'm having to juggle a lot of windows, so hopefully this works. Let me just check that that will come through for you. I need another monitor, frankly, but there we go. So everything is hopefully clear what we're doing, and I have no idea where I was now. So I've made a note of the 3 answers that I've got so far, which are themed. I think they're basically in order, but I don't know whether they'll need to be rearranged at the end. Let us. It's interesting the crossing letters are literally useless for themed answers. So unless I can reverse translate, yeah. So anyway, let's continue on with something and see where we get to. I'm just going to try to... Right, so 10 across. Really hot writing about love monarch. Another themed clue. Really hot writing about love monarch. So love could be O, monarch could be ER. I don't know what the new monarch abbreviation is for the king, but if we had OER inside of something, could we get a word for really hot? I don't know. Let's see if 2 down will get us all. Again, it's irrelevant. I keep thinking I get some more letters. Wow. Okay, we're just gonna have to come back to the difficult ones later. Another themer. Philosopher took Spinoza on about conclusions. This looks like final letters. Yeah, philosopher is Kant, K-A-N-T. And if we put this into Google Translate, just double check you can see that. Yes. We get edge. Okay, very good. Okay, what might help is once I get enough of these, if I can't figure out the answer, I can try to figure it out from where it would be placed in this sentence that we're putting together, assuming that we are putting a sentence together. I'm clicking in all over the place here. I'll put edge in there because it's roughly where it will go, I think. And we move on. Good grief. Okay, actually, give me 1 second. I'm just going to make this easier on my end. I'm just going to assume from here on in you can see everything properly. Get that screen out of my way. Okay. So 2 down is not themed. Touch a blasting cap, podcast said. Touched. So probably an ED word. A blasting, it could be A for A, blasting cap B. This is a buttered. Yeah, so on a podcast, that's a new age homophone indicator, neola homophone indicator. And so the word for said is uttered, but if we spell that differently, we get uttered, and that gets us a buttered, which means touched. So moving along to 6, which, this was not themed. Oh yeah, I looked at this early on, I think. Blue made by Danish Barbie makers. Yeah, I don't know what that is. 7 down. Oh, that's also not themed. I did look at this, but now I've got an extra letter, and letters do matter for this one. Today's foreign name at center of problem. Wow. So today's foreign could be an anagram of today's, since we've got a Y in the answer. Name at the center might be or well, hang on. What if today is the definition and then foreign name is an anagram of name in the middle here at the center of problem? All I can think of is doozy. But, well, what comes to mind is that you could have an actual day. Oh, this is 5. Sorry, this is 5-4. I thought it was a 9-letter answer. So, well, that doesn't help me because it's not a day, is it? But, center of problem. I might come back to that. 8 down, debated a 12 across product, debated a stem cell product, 2-5. A for A, stem cell product at issue. So tissue is the product of a stem cell, and the A is the A, and debated is at issue. So that blue was blue made by Danish Barbie makers. I did think of IKEA. I don't see IKEA as making... Oh, aren't they Swedish? I think they are Swedish. Okay. No idea. So 11 across. Celeb chef yet to finish bagel with the Italian dressing, 5-3. Bagel can be an O with the Italian... right, this is just olive oil. I actually thought of that for the wrong reason. I think the Italian dressing is olive oil. Let's just see. Celeb chef yet to finish bagel. So bagel is O. The Italian is il, and so dressing is olive oil. And olive is the celeb chef yet to finish. Oliver? Yeah. What's his face? Oliver. I actually was thinking of olio, which I can't remember if that just means oil. I think I thought it was some sort of one of the versions of the in Italian. In any case, we got over the line. 9 down, unthemed. Snake to claim blatherskites. What is blatherskites? I've never seen that word before. To snake as a verb might be to wind. This would make sense. Windbags. So blatherskites must be a word for someone who talks a lot. To claim is to bags. You bag something, you make claim to it, and to wind is to snake. That's a nice clue. So 16 across. Numbers or numbers trending to smash apartheid. Apartheid is 9 letters. Yeah, so this looks like data something, although I've got I know it's 3-6, sorry. Not thinking straight here. Numbers or numbers trending. That's what got me thinking about data. To smash apartheid. uh, no, maybe I thought it might be hit or hat. Oh yeah, hit parade. Which that's quite an indirect or a misdirecting definition. That numbers trending, numbers being songs that are trending. So there's some classy cluing, and the theme is brilliant. So I'm loving this so far, David. Despite your intentions to ruin our day, you've done quite the opposite. It's like that. What's the story in the Brewery Patch? You just claim that you the worst place in the world to be sent was. I'm in a daze today, so I'll just stop trying to tell stories and continue solving clues. 16 down. Panic derailed this year. 2024 or now. Panic, hullabaloo or something. Derailed the anagram of this year. Right, hysteria. That's straightforward. Now 17. I haven't done a themed one for a while. Anchor's Spooner's Colour Puzzle. Okay, what's a colour puzzle? Or is it two separate words? It's probably two separate words. To puzzle over is to... Spoonerisms are hard because you need to think of two synonyms directly. And the whole thing means anchors, I guess. So that could be hosts on television shows or things that hold things down. Or to hold something down. I can't really think, so let's move along. 15. Still no theme. Mobsters I resolved to reform. So it looks like an anagram of probably mobsters I, starting with E, meaning reform. Is that what's happening? Or is it not? Can't see the anagram there. Let's try 17. I think 17 down was themed. Indeed. Present or present, fruit turnover, mid platter. 4 letters. Mid platter for tea, fruit turnover, 3-letter fruit, and the whole thing meaning present. Gift, right. So gift is fig backwards, and then the middle letter of platter. And if we put in gift, we get married. That's interesting. So let's add that to our list. Somewhere near the bottom. I think there's steam page edge married your. I don't know what they mean, if they mean anything. So moving along, 20 across. Another themer, 3 letters long. US mate makes ball ricochet. Could be a pal, maybe. That doesn't feel like a very US name. Makes ball, which could be an O. Ricochet. What does ricochet do here? Is that the definition? Or is that taking... Is the O for ball ricocheting as in escaping from a word, meaning makes, something like that. To ricochet. No, I don't think I'm going to get that just yet, or ever, given I will never have any assistance. 24. Butchers arrive in Murray District. I feel like this has like, because can arrive be ARR, or is that arrivals? Feels like Murray District would be the definition, and I'm afraid to say I don't know my local geography very well. But butchers, kills, arrive. Maybe, because I did think maybe the whole thing means butchers. I mean, you've got a word for arrive inside of a district, a Murray district. And that would just be a shorter Murray district, and we'd still have that A on the end, which would make sense for a district, but it doesn't really make sense for a word meaning butchers. At least it's not themed, so we have some possibility of getting some extra letters. 26, notes trend. So maybe notes as in musical notes, we're just taking 4 of them and we're getting a word meaning a trend or to trend. Oh, I almost thought it might be data again, but I don't know, do da and ta count as notes? Not really. Do and maybe it's 2 of the do re mi's. Do re mi fa so la. I need to write this down so I can consider the combinations. I mean, it's a bit of a leap, but we'll see if it pays off. So la t trend. There's a few words in there like fate and late and others. Some. I don't know whether to labour on that because that could be the wrong idea. If it was just from A, if it was the letters A to G as notes, probably easier just to think of a definition for trend. Lean, tend. Oh well. Yeah, strangely enough, tend and trend basically do mean the same thing, but are they 2 notes? I don't think so. Could be notes as in cash. No, I'll come back. Suit part in Magnificent 7 twist. This is vest, so part of this expression here is those 4 letters, and if they're twisted around you get vest, which is synonymous with suit, kind of. We'll see whether Google Translate gives us something meaningful. Oops. West, okay, so that seems plausible, and we have an E in place, so chuck that on the list. I think that's after. Where was your? Oh, yours here. And so yeah, vest is coming down there. West rather. None of those words seem to be related thematically, but we'll see. So let's see what 21 across is. top placed after missing second match, 3-letter answer. At least they're kind of short answers, which is somewhat helpful. Top placed after missing second match. I'm thinking of potentially gel for match. It's not quite right, but top place is first or best after missing. Yes, bet. Is bet and match synonymous? I don't think so. Top placed. See, second could be an S, or it could be the second letter missing from a word. But regardless, it would be a 4-letter word meaning top placed. Peak. Maybe pack. What's another word for match then? Maybe top place is the definition. Or maybe top place is the P after missing second match. No, okay. Again, not going to get a lot of help from anything really for that. 22, border airbase I am joining. I thought hem for border. Rim actually. So the base letter of air is the R. I am is I'm, and rim, those joined together give you a border. And if we pop border in here, or rim rather, we get frost. This is a real education. So frost it is with a T to help us out. And that is another themed answer coming approximately there. So what I might do is put in front of these the number. So that was 3. Page is 4. Edge is 14. Married 17. You're 18. Frost 22 and West 27. Okay. It really doesn't look like they're going to be processed in order, whatever the case. But we're doing well here. 25, challenge pretense behind theatre act. Question mark, 6 letters. Pretense behind theatre act. It's interesting. We need some pretty short synonyms for some words that don't feel like they would have them, like pretense. Unless it's not, or maybe pretense behind is the E. No, I don't think so. Don't quite understand that. 23 down. Yeah, cruise to outer. This might have been one I looked at before I cut the video. Cruise to outer tip of Guam. And I think at this point I didn't know the theme either. I didn't get what was going on. So now I just need a 3-letter word that adheres to this clue. So outer tip of Guam. This yeah, this was before the recording. I remember now. So when I saw cruise, I thought maybe that's Tom, but then I was looking for more letters because I thought it was a 5-letter answer. But of course it is Tom. The outer tip of Guam is an M, and the 2 in the clue is TO. So we can put Tom into old mate Google Translate and get empty. Okay, and that satisfies our Y. This is interesting what I'm going to be able to do with these just from trying to guess the word based on the letters. And actually we're close to having looked at everything. Maybe I haven't looked at this one. 20 across. Oh, is that? I need to put empty in on my list. I hope I haven't missed any. 23 empty. Now, I don't think I've looked at 20. Oh, yes, I have. Damn. Let's look at 7. Again, I think these crossing letters aren't relevant. Oh, no, 17 it is relevant. Good. Is this mainstay? Mainstays or something like that. So an anchor is a mainstay. And so that would be color puzzle, stain, maze. So our puzzle is a maze and color is to stain. Lovely. It would be even lovelier if those crossing letters were meaningful, but I don't think... Oh, they are for this one. Once again, so... And we've got an I, so mobster's I as an anagram still seems plausible. Reform. Mobster's I resolved to reform. It's probably just an anagram, but I just can't see. This would have to presumably be BST or R. Seems an unlikely starting to a word. Okay, so we'll move along. That's an interesting looking word. And it was themed, so can we just guess a word that fits there? What's this word here? Oh, this letter rather. An R. T. What about tuxedo? Really hot writing about love, monarch. Love could be an X. Monarch, not so much. And if it's not tuxedo, it's not an X, I would think. Well, why don't we use our tool here and reverse this and say tuxedo. Oh, hang on, what am I saying? No, tuxedo. Yeah, sorry, I completely misunderstood that. So tuxedo would not be what we get from the clue. We would get apparently smoking. And I know that that's also the French word for a tuxedo. That's interesting. So smoking will be right because, of course, really hot is smoking. So writing about love monarch. I just need somewhere to write the word smoking in so I can look at it. So love monarch is O king, and writing about is MS going backwards. MS standing for manuscript. So so that is perfect. I kind of got there a bit by accident, or I cheated and completely misunderstood what I was trying to do, but success all the same. So 10 across. Where's my notepad? Very struggling to see how these are possibly going to be linked together. Harness, racer, skipped, first, heel. So racer with an H in it. Some sort of fast car. Or a word for harness in 6 letters. Or maybe harness is a belt, and then the whole thing means heel. Or harness racer without its first letter. I don't know if there's a word for that. A trotter or something. And A and S in place are not very useful to us. We would need a consonant really, or the first letter. So that's going to be tricky to solve. Good grief. 6 across. This is the straightforward clue. Blue made by Danish Barbie maker. What about... wow. That is going in the running for the golden waffle. That's a beautiful definition element. A Danish maker of Barbie are the band Aqua, who have the song Barbie Girl. Is it Barbie? Yeah, Barbie Girl, I think was the name of it. And blue is a type of aqua is a type of blue, of course. So that's amazing. I'm quite pleased with having gotten that. I think I just thought maybe I'm looking for a colour blue, and then aqua came to mind. 7 down. This is back to this. So today's foreign, starting with a Q. Okay, so I'm going to assume it's this. Queen Mary. Today's foreign name at centre of problem. So Queen Mary is the Danish queen. And query is a problem. Foreign name is an anagram of name, which is in the middle of that query. Gives us Queen Mary, which is today's, well, that's just the whole clue then. It's got the exclamation as well. The whole clue is it's an and lit. So Queen Mary is the foreign name from today that is the centre of our problem. Wow. Okay. Good grief. This was quite a high concept puzzle for David to conceive of and execute. So this is a standout puzzle in recent times. Now, any better on this? We've got a lot of letters to get the final answer from a guess, because it is themed, yes. Top placed after missing second match. A 3-letter answer. And what word might fit in here? Softened. So if the answer was softened from a translation, what would be the three-letter word for or softener even? Softener could be a gel maybe. So gel. No, I don't think so. Melted. Something that means melted. It might not be softened, obviously. In fact, it might not even be an 8-letter word. It could be 2 words like soft something or safe something. It's not enumerated anywhere. So, suffered. I like suffered. So let's think that. So suffered, 3-letter word for suffered, which would have to have a definition in here. Hang on, where's, am I looking? Yeah, I'm looking at the right clue. I suddenly thought, I think I was thinking softened in relation to a different answer. There was something that had, that's right, gel. Okay, so I don't think that's it. So yeah, suffered would have to come from a word. I keep getting this wrong in my head. The final answer would translate from a Danish word to meaning suffered. So yeah, so suffered has no relevance to the meaning of the definition here. It's the word it gets translated from. Wow. I mean, I'm going to type it in so I can think about it a bit more clearly. Again, it's probably going to make it less clear because really I can't use it except to say that, well, I just can't use it. So I don't think that's the way to look at this. I should just look at the clue. That's what I need to do. Look at the clue. Top placed, best. After missing second, bet, and match being bet. I don't think they're synonymous. So the other thing, of course, I can do, what it can do with the suffered is to put it into here as a reverse definition, which I'm going to do because I don't want to spend 17 years. And that's not right, I don't think. So I've had one little cheat. I'll refrain from cheating again immediately with a different potential word. What was I thinking? Softened or softener? Yeah, and the mistake I was making was thinking that softened would mean something here, which of course it doesn't. So yeah, I'll come back. 25. Challenge pretense behind theatre act. And this is a straight clue. Okay. Pose. So pretense is pose, and theatre act is an op for opera, or opus rather, I guess, one of those two. And that is just a straight answer, so we're good. We're good. Now it gets tricky. Where's my... this one... Oh no, sorry, 26. Notes trend. Translation as well. Good Lord. Let me pass my notes again. Notes, and... A trend could be a bend, or a curve, or a fashion. Notes could mean lots of things. We've got dote, D-O-N-T-E, redo, Maya, miso, Mila, might, fair, fate. I did wonder about fate and trend. I don't think they really are synonymous. Sofa, late, and that's about it. If it's just from the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, cage, well, there's lots of words, but not getting that. 15 down was a standard clue, was it? I think it was. Yeah, see, again, it doesn't really help, except that it will help if I start to cheat. Maybe I can just try to guess. It's not very useful letters, but US mate makes ball ricochet. What is a US mate? Is that just a slang word for mate in America? Buddy? And then I think the ball ricocheting, is there an O that's gonna get taken out of a word? Oh, mind you, we'd need a definition which would have to be, wow, US, and then so then it wouldn't be a US mate, it would just be a word for mate with an O missing from it. And the whole thing would mean US or us. What about us for we? Makes ball ricochet. Oh, ricochet could be go backwards. So a word for ball going backwards. And then that could mean US mate. We need a 3-letter word for ball. What about a deb ball? That at least can be reversed to the word bed. Does bed mean US mate? I don't know. We can try it as a translation. Pray, so that's no good. Orb. Orb going backwards is bro, which is a word for friend. And I guess it's fairly US-y. So the final answer was bro, is that right? And then we get bridge. So bridge for 20. That D there was not in mobsters. So that's not an anagram. That's good to know. That's what I was hoping to achieve, actually. We've got butchers arrive in Murray District again. Standard clue. Maybe arrive can just be a, or come, or land. Murray, I think I keep thinking of like Barossa, something like that. It probably is some region like that. It's weird that it has that A there at the end. Well, not for the region, but for the... Oh, maybe arrive just is the A at the end. And then we need a word for butchers. Like dissects, or... And that's presumably an S then. But see, a vowel with I and I like that doesn't seem likely. That's the right spelling of hysteria, right? Yeah. L would be a common letter for a region as well, or R. What about that? I've never heard of that, but butchers for kills. But it's out of order. I thought in and arrive, but they're the wrong way around. It doesn't really look like a place. Certainly haven't heard of it. dis something, to butcher something is to dismantle or something like that. And does that give any leads? What about Riverina? That looks good. Kind of. Is riverine a word? Ooh, I like that as an answer. Good grief. What an idiot. I need to get some imagery for this channel, in particular a picture of a buffoon or something that evokes that sense. Arrive in is just an anagram of Riverina. Butchers is a homophone, is an anagram indicator. I am a moron. I do apologize for that painful situation. Mobsters I resolved to reform. I resolved to reform. Well, now is it just, it's just an anagram of I resolved, which I think I vaguely thought of earlier and never really followed through thinking about it. And it means mobsters, so S at the end I get. Maybe not, let's be careful with that. E-I-D-E, E-I-D-E, let me use my little pen and paper here. R-S-O-L-V, E-I-D-E, evildoers, right, unusual word. Well, unusual, it's not an everyday structure that you would think of, but we're close to a solution here. We can start to, well, the question as well is whether there's a relationship with these words. Steam, page, tuxedo, edge, married, your, bridge, frost, empty. I don't think so. So I don't think I can use that to my advantage. But notes, trend. Again, I still need to cold solve this. There's too many words that could go here. I guess there's not, no. I can think of at least 5 off the top of my head, so, and I'd have to reverse translate them, so, notes, trend. A note of something could be like a hint, like there's a note of caramel or something like that. Trend. Very annoying. I might do another cheat over here just to make some progress. Talking about cross. So I was thinking suffered or sufferer or softened. Top placed. After missing second match. Now what if it's a word for top? We have a word for placed. Missing the second letter of match, missing the A. So 4-letter word for placed with an A in it. Don't like that. I think the final word is going to mean match. Oh, about tie. A match is a tie, T-I-E. let's see how that works. We'd need a top placed with 4 letters, TIE, and an S in it, or another letter in the second place. Top placed. No, that was, well, since it might be right, let's see. Shut up. No. Okay, well, rather than spend too much longer thinking in silence, I'm going to pause the video and think over here, and then come back to you when I think I've got more of a lead, if I ever get there. Well, one thing I noticed is that for 26 across, the whole time I was looking for a 4-letter answer, when in fact the notes trend is a 3-letter answer, and that got me to fad, which translates as dish. So far and D, we're combining notes. Well, no, F, A, and D are all 3 different notes, but also far is a note and D is a note. So that is that one. Let me pause again. All right, everyone. Well, I could not get any further. 1 across, I can't guess at because there's too many possible words. And 21 across, I had a look on one look, and there's only words relating to soften and suffer. And I just had a thought. No. So, and they don't seem to be correct. So I'm not sure what I'm missing. What I could be missing, as I said, was a 2-word answer. It didn't seem obvious to me how that could actually be structured though. Maybe 2 letters and then 6 letters. Let me quickly check that. No, I couldn't figure that out. So do leave a comment if you know the answer. In fact, I think somebody on Twitter might have put a picture of their solution, so I might check that out, and if it is, I'll add a little ending to this video with the final solution. But let it be said, that was an excellent crossword. Thank you so much, David, for such an incredible kind of conceit. I don't think there's a relationship between the final list of words in the middle. It's not obvious to me what that might be. I'll update you if that changes. But I hope you enjoyed. It's been, how long has it been? Is it just over an hour? Yeah, so hopefully not too arduous. Thank you for joining me. Do subscribe if you'd like to see more of this content, of course, and I'll be back soon with another puzzle. And I wish you happy puzzling until then.